These cooler temperatures telling you something? Maybe dropping subtle hints that it's time to give your home a little love?
Maybe. We're talking about windows. Gary, Ireland, and Ed Reich are here to tell us about some clues that your windows are giving you. Thank you so much for being here. And Gary, there
Thank you
really
for having us.
there are things to look out for, right? I mean, the really obvious one is there's a cold draft, but there are other things too, right?
Oh, absolutely. If you see your windows, the glass fogging,
Okay, that's one.
painted shut, not able to operate.
Certainly, yeah. And I think we may have some pictures here of the top 5 things to look out for with aging windows. And certainly not being able to operate the window is one of the things, because you said when they're painted shut. And that can happen in so many like homes in our area, older homes, where it's really difficult to get something open.
Correct, especially if this is a casement window. If the cranks aren't opening, not easy to operate at all.
Right.
You know, and it's just at that age, 20, 30 years old, it's time to check the window.
Or also if the locking mechanism isn't working, keeping it sealed shut, right?
Correct. Or if you have a double hung window like this, it's not staying up, or it just comes down too hard or too fast.
Right.
I have one of those.
You have one of those?
Well, we'll have Ed come right
I could
over.
really use you guys, to be totally honest.
Here's a big thing. The windows themselves, they're also a fire safety thing for as well. There's a fire in your home and it's outside your bedroom door, your window's the only way to get out.
Right.
So if your window's painted shut, it doesn't work, you can't open it, and you're in that time of need, you need to make sure that they're working.
Yeah,
It is a safety issue that goes along with it.
Absolutely. No, that's such an important thing. Also, you mentioned the condensation. Also, a faulty low E. This has to do with like protecting you from UV rays. Is that what it is?
Correct. Yeah. So low E is a very thin material that's put between the glass, but the whole purpose of it is to block out UV rays. So as the sun comes in, the UV comes in, it gets reflected back out.
Right.
But what happens is when they fail, you'll see like a purple tint in your window and then see some dots. That's a fogged window, but the same purpose. It's no longer working. It's no longer effective. Those UV rays are going to come in. They're going to hurt your carpets. They'll stain your floors, all of the other things that go along with it.
Wow.
Yeah, anything that's near your window is going to fade, right?
Yep.
All right, and I think before we move on to talking about like what to look for when you're buying a window, we also have some shots of wood decay and water damage, because that's very easy to happen around the frame of the window, and before you know it, things can go south, and you don't even realize how bad it is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you look at your windows?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Unless there's a problem,
Right.
it's one of those things. It's not super sexy.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
it's
But
not really.
so essential,
Yeah.
right? I mean, having the investment in windows in your house, totally worth it.
If your windows are moldy or rotten, there means there's water,
Yeah.
right? Water's
tells you
going to
right
kill your
there.
home.
Yeah.
So one way or another, whether we're putting a roof on it to protect you from water, whether the windows go in to protect you from water, the whole purpose is if it gets below and it gets past the windows and you can see it visibly somewhere, it's rotting something else.
Yeah.
That means that you now have health concerns and stuff that goes along with it.
Show us this window, because
Yep.
you were talking about like what are we looking at here? How many panes is it? How does it open?
So most of today's windows are going to be dual pane. Okay?
Okay.
They're called insulated glass, 2 pairs. The UV protectant will be between them, so you won't have to worry about scratching it.
And is it a film? Can you see it?
It is a film. It's actually very thin metal, but it's film between the glass, and it's stuck to the glass when they're making the process.
Okay.
For this window being a casement, this window is a crank-out window. There are a lot of opportunities for this. What we use a casement for, great example, you're in a kitchen and you have a double hung window. We replace them with awnings for some reason. Look at this. Can you reach over your kitchen sink, lift up the window and put it back down? It's
Right.
hard. Your stomach's
Right,
always in the
exactly.
way.
No,
The
you
big
can't.
designs
I can't.
is in the way.
Have
So
one of
now,
those too.
right, you replace it with a casement crank out, because all you have to do is reach over. You don't have to do anything else for it.
Super easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And still secure. You
And
can
still
lock
secure,
it.
right. So this window from Pella has dual locks inside of it. So even though it's only a single lock in it, it's going to have 2 locks inside.
Yeah. All right, we're taking a look at some of the 5 signs there that you need new windows, and we have another example of a window right here. Number one thing that people should think about whenever they're going to buy a new window.
Where are you buying it from? It's the biggest thing. Most of the manufacturers build a quality window. It's just a matter of who's going to put it in, who's going to install it for you properly, who's going to back up the product once it's in the home.
All right.
So
Those are excellent pro tips.
Yeah.
Thank
you
you.
guys so much
thank you.
for talking, explaining something that, a lot of us don't often think about.
Yes.
Well, if you mentioned that you saw Ireland contracting on PTL and request an appointment, Ed will bring you a free gift. He will bring you a gift.
How sweet. For more information on securing an appointment or for details on Ireland Contracting's other home improvement services, I'll tell you what, I'm having a hard time talking today. Check out our website, pittsburghtodaylive.com.